hop, and every single day something happens, you know. So I'm really glad. I was in church today, man, and it was just like an incredible message today that
Wow.
that just confirmed why I'm doing this for hip hop and all that.
Wow. What was the message?
Jubal, the Jubal was one of the sons of a descendant of Cain,
Okay.
and, and there were three sons. So one son was in charge of the livestock, like that was his gift, so he could take care of the animals and
The
all that,
animals.
right? And the second son was in charge of tools, making tools. So he was like a blacksmith. But Jabal was he was a, he had he created music, praise,
Wow.
and it's funny because everybody understands that Lucifer is like he's he was the god of music. He was one of the angels of music, but he was like like he was the sound, the wind, that kind of stuff. But
Right.
God created the praise. So God in wisdom knew I'm gonna give somebody this gift because Lucifer's gonna come down with all this stuff of
Stuff
music
was going on, right?
to give somebody this the person to make the music, to praise, to be able to dismiss what Lucifer would do with music, corrupt music, because the praise was for the soul. So it was,
Wow.
so then as I listened to the message, I was like, wow, how profound is that with hip hop? When you think about hip hop, how it started with everything that had the words, the music, everything that had combined, and how hip hop has been going all kind of crazy, all kind of different ways. How profound was that? So
That's
it
something
it,
else.
it was. I put it up on Facebook and everything because I think that everybody should just listen to that sermon because if you understand, you have a responsibility when it comes to this hip hop music and the words and what you're saying. I was one of the first people to I got hired by Death Row direct because of an action that I did, and because of that action they hired me direct. So it wasn't like I knew Suge, it wasn't like I knew Death Row, it wasn't any of that stuff. It was something I did unrelated, and they just said we're hiring you on the spot.
Wow.
So and then everybody was just like, yo, that's a gangster rap label. But my childhood, I was in gangs.
Right, right, right.
I related to that music because I said they're just speaking from what they experience in their own terms.
Right.
If you're in a war zone area and they ask you, why don't you describe what happened? You're gonna describe it according to how you feel during that
Right.
time that you're there. Whatever words you use, body parts flying, effing this, that.
Right, right. What else you gonna do?
So I
Right.
said, you're describing what the hell they going through and what they feel and all that stuff. Granted, it's a little, it's maybe too much for some people, but it was too much for them.
Right. It
So
still was reality for the people that are speaking it.
right, right. So I didn't have no problem in promoting it, and it was crazy. When you go to an East Coast guy and you give him a West Coast record, they gonna say, "I don't play this stuff, Al."
Right.
You know, it's right off the back. Like I don't play the West Coast stuff. I was just like, I had a record pool. So my record pool, they believed in me. They believed in what if I told them I said this record's good, they believed in me. And them guys heard a track and they were just like, yo, wow, this is hot. I don't care where it came from, bro. I put bangers.
Right.
So we were able to break a lot of the West Coast stuff, the Midwest, all that stuff. All them guys were coming to me, man. Scarface, Ghetto Boys, the Loonies, all of them were hitting me up. T.I. Family, all of them are giving me just these records. They said, we got a guy in the East Coast that's banging this stuff for us, man.
That's connected, that's plugged. And to think about it, you starting this record pool right out of your mom's apartment.
Yeah, in the projects.
Forest Hills. I'm like, I mean, how did that come about?
Look, I didn't have no office. I didn't have no money. I didn't know what I was doing. I was a DJ, and I started getting the free records from record companies. And companies were just like feeling me, like, yo, this kid, like, I didn't have an ego. I was so thirsty, man. I just,
Right,
I wanted to get,
right,
and I just wanted to play it. I wasn't playing no hot club or nothing. But they knew that, like I had that hunger. And they probably just say, here, take this record. And then when I had the record, another guy that I know will go and say, yo, Al, where did you get that record from? You want a copy? And I go hit my man up. I go back downtown. I go pick it up. So that expanded. But I had a experience with Disco Den Record Pool. And that experience with Disco Den Record Pool gave me the foundation to start my own record pool. And
ah,
that's how I started. I started Sure Record Pool in the projects with my mom, with Bobby Davis and Paul Marin. So I had two other partners with it. And we started it there. And mom was just like, you gonna pay for the phone bill? I said,
right.
I'm gonna pay for the phone bill. Okay, so don't make a mess in the living room.
That's
Don't
it,
do
right?
So it was the hallway entrance. The records were all lined up on the hallway. So I didn't have no bins or nothing. I just put the records down. I'm gonna put a piece of cardboard. Number one, number two, number three. That was the records and all that. So when they came, they pick up their joints. And mom was like cooking for everybody. So everybody knew mom. Like, yo, I'm gonna cook on you. You gotta here. You look too skinny.
Wow,
Everybody knew mom. And before you know it, limousines are coming to the project. They're picking me up. Like, yo, Al, we give us a tour of the Bronx. Yo, Al, take us over here. Take us to I would take
wow,
all the hood clubs. And since I was an ex-gang member, I would go to places where you couldn't go. You know what I'm saying?
right, right,
Like, oh, they used to call me Little Al. They said, that Little Al, man, yeah, that Little Al. Who you with, man? Oh, these are my people. And then people, they're record company people, bro. They didn't know nothing. I'm taking them from Manhattan, from their plush disco club, and taking them
right,
to a hideaway club where everybody, like, the line is deep. And they're like, holy crap, what is this place and everything? I said, no, they did with me. He said, oh, we got you out. We got you. Yo, I got to pat you down, bro. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You're all good. You were out. You were little out. Come on. Right, let them the spot. They just blown away.
Al, did you bring him to 310 and a half?
Hell yeah. And 310 and a half was a real disco club. It was a real disco club. And I had the fortune to go there, but I wasn't frequently going there. I had to go to the let me tell you some of the clubs. There was the Epoca, there was Tapestry, there was Gate Key, there was Roller World, there was um Peppermint Lounge, there was the Spotlight, um and I just didn't go to Bronx. Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan,
Right,
Jersey. Just I had so many members, and then I had a lot of members from New Rochelle, and New Rochelle was divided. Prejudice is everywhere. I tell
yeah,
people it's everywhere. It's
it's
not something
everywhere.
that goes away or something like that. It's just some people feel a certain way, and that's all it is. I'm in New Rochelle. That's 90% white.
Right,
90%. And there was a guy named Johnny G. And Johnny G used to work at a place called the Palace. And the Palace was the one black club in New Rochelle.
wow,
Jam packed. Every single night they opened, jam packed. Now, I had white boys that were in the pool. So they worked in Marty and Lenny's, the second floor, to go to the white clubs.
right,
I was servicing all the guys that played in clubs that wouldn't be able to get into other record pools because they had a standard. So if you didn't have a club that had 1,000 people more, you wasn't getting in the pool. If you didn't have a club that had an official letterhead and all that stuff, you wasn't getting in
we're
the
gonna
pool.
get in the pool.
If you
Okay,
wasn't a head DJ in the club, you wasn't getting in the pool. So you had to really be a prima donna DJ to really get in a record pool.
right, right,
I opened up that pool. I said, man, I'm letting everybody in the hood. You working in, I don't care if you're working in a dive. You got 15 people? I got you.
right.
That's it.
That's how you do it. And I'm telling you, and not only did you do it, you did it well. You did it extremely well. Now, tell me a little bit about you being on the board of director for the World Cup of Hip Hop organization. Tell me about that.
Oh man, Joseph. Oh, look, man. I was at a meeting with another company, and we're at it's a convention. We're at a hotel. We're having a meeting while the convention is going on. And I'm with this company, and Joseph is there sitting down for a separate meeting with the same company. But I'm just talking. And I'm talking and I'm telling the guy, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, I could do this, I could do that. I'm just explaining what I can do, how I can do it, and when you want to start. My thing is like, I'm here. I'm downtown already. I'm talking to you. So I was talking to Dot Hip Hop. So
Wow.
Dot Hip Hop is with me and they're talking to me and say, yeah, Al, we like what you're doing. So the guy hits me like on my shoulder, like, yo, can I talk to you after this? I said, yeah, we can. I want to set up a meeting with you, bro. I said, okay, here's my card, bro. Come call me. I said, okay, cool. So that was Joseph Clark. So I go and I meet with him afterwards, and I go to his office and we're talking. And he said, man, I heard everything you were saying, bro. I need a person like you. I said, what you about? Tell me about what you're planning to do. So he told me what
Right.
he to do. And I said, so what are you thinking? How do you think I fit into your situation? He said, I'd like to make you part of the board of directors. I said, I'm down. I said,
Wow.
yo, if it's a positive thing and it's moving hip hop forward, I'm in there. So let's do it. That's how I
And
got.
just like
That,
that.
that's my. That is my history. My history has always been. I don't think about. I don't think about a money thing. I think about growth.
Growth.
I
Wow.
have a. I have a theory. If you think about growth, the money eventually comes.
Comes.
But if you think about money first, the money doesn't come.
It never comes.
No, because you're chasing after the money.
You're chasing the money.
Right. So I don't try to chase the money. I try to accomplish whatever it is to give me more growth.
And that's so
So
important. So important. And some people have to learn that the hard way. And and
yeah,
and and look, I will honestly say I had to learn that the hard way.
yeah,
Because sometimes in life when you come from humble beginnings, you might want to take that other avenue to get further a lot quicker, and you'll find yourself in quicksand, my man.
yeah, yeah.
You'd be like a hamster in the wheel.
It's funny how I see and hear so many people cut their own blessings because they think about the money part.
Right.
If if you had the opportunity to meet a person from Google at the very, 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 very beginning, it would sound crazy to you what he's talking about at the very, very beginning. In other words, it doesn't exist. It's just a concept, an idea. And the guy said, I just need help, man. I can't do this by myself. And you got your 9 to 5 and everything. You got your family and all that stuff.
Right.
And
Right.
you're like, well, you got to pay me, bro. Says, I can't pay you. I'm just telling you, I got this idea, man. I got this idea and I could do this thing. I need help. And you gonna say, yeah, bro, you got to pay me, bro. I'm sorry. You walk away and 3 years later, Google pops up. Now the guy don't even take your phone calls.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a
Yeah.
millionaire 3 or 4 times over already. And you're like, I had that happen to me with MTV. I was at the New Music Seminar,
Wow.
Marriott Hotel, and the guy from MTV had a table, a big water bottle, a VCR player, and a small TV. MTV on a cardboard. Please donate the water bottle. And I was with a bunch of guys. We walked to the convention and we're cracking up on this guy. Like, guy, what's this, bro? I'm gonna have music. I'm gonna make like a video and I'm gonna put it on TV. Music on TV. They were like, get out of here, bro. Walk away. You see?
Yeah.
So I've had plenty of opportunities like that when I was younger, and I don't miss opportunities now. Now I
I don't
don't.
either. Me neither. And you know what? It's good. It's good to evolve.
Yeah.
Evolving is so important. Now, when you think of the culture of hip hop and you think of Sedgwick Avenue, you think of where it started, DJ Kool Herc, you think of the B boys, and you think of the MCs, the DJs that were so prevalent in the early stages of it. And now you fast forward to Hip Hop Boulevard, my brother. I mean, how did that make you feel to see that you, the CEO of Hip Hop Boulevard, was able to implement a plan of action and now seeing it manifest right before your eyes to preserve and protect the culture of hip hop?
It was to see it now is more responsibility, more accountability. I walk a very straight edge. I can't go to the left. I can't go to the right
Mm,
because there are too many distractions and too many people that will pull me into their vision, their narrative. And
right,
I have a vision and narrative for hip hop that I feel is very important. And I think that my vision is very different than a lot of other people's vision because of the actions. I look around the actions around me, and their actions kind of dictate their vision, what they're chasing after.
right,
Because of that, I align myself with certain people, but I deal with everybody. So I
right,
deal with everybody, but I align myself with certain people that go that direction of my vision. Hip hop it's is a very powerful entity. And because of the power, people have been making billions of dollars from it. But how many people have ownership?
right,
Something that they created. And I
right,
think a lot of them have not learned the steps that they need to do to correct the past mistakes and to move forward in the future the way they need to move forward.
yeah,
I see it clearer, and I can't tell people why I see it clearer. I just see it clearer. So I'm able to move forward in that direction a lot quicker. I'm not a Puffy. I'm not an LL. I'm not none of those guys. I don't have millions of dollars. I
right,
work a 5 job, and I have this vision, this passion. But I always have passion in what I do, and I never think about me. I think about others and when I do it. So that way, if it's successful, it's successful. But I'm doing something I love.
right,
So,
right,
so to me, it's like I love what I'm doing. I'm good. Now, if I
right, right,
make money from it, I'm even better.
yeah,
But if I could bless people, that's an even better
that,
feeling
that,
that I get because I'm able to take somebody who nobody else took and say, "Let me give you a chance, bro. Let's do this. Let's see what happens for it." But
right,
everybody else may not be looking in that direction. So I gotta have a crew of people that nobody else would select. Like they'll look at my team and say, "Damn, I got some people in there, huh?" Because I don't look for their appearance. I look for their heart.
right,
Where's their heart at? So, and I go forward in that direction with them. And then I take that, what they have in their heart, and I go and I say, let me fit them somewhere. And if they don't fit here, I try them here, I try them there, I try them all until I find that, okay, this is where they at. This is where they fit. This is where they shine. This is where they can do what they're doing. And I let
right.
them go and let them do what they got to do.
I tell you, and that takes leadership qualities. You got to have it in order to be able to do that, to get in tune with someone's heart, with someone's soul, and then be able to delegate properly and putting people in the proper places. That's having superb leadership quality. Now, do you think that by you being so close to the culture, like for instance, you were a writer at Billboard, that you have observed this journey for so long that you're able to see, you know, the things that need to be fixed in the infrastructure?
Well, let me say, as a Billboard reporter, there was like 50 back then. And as a reporter, you had to list your, if I'm trying to remember, top 15 or top 20 records and your five movers. So top 20 when you're playing, or top 10, I'm trying to remember what it was, but five movers. So five records that you feel are going to move into your chart. But I was the guy in the hood that was a Billboard reporter. I was the guy that lived in a project that was a Billboard reporter. I was the guy that was putting hip hop music, rap music that we called it back then. When people didn't know, the people putting in the house music, the disco music, and all that, and I went to this radio. What the hell is that? Huh? What the hell is that on this? Yeah. I said, this is hot, bro. But we don't even got a rap sheet in Billboard.
Right.
But that's what I was doing. It is a bigger responsibility to be placed with a huge magazine. And the way I got this gig, look, every record pool signed documents to keep me from being a Billboard reporter because there was a stipulation. Nobody could be a Billboard reporter if they were in charge of a record pool. Too much power.
Right.
Too much power because they can manipulate that with their
Manipulate.
records.
Yeah.
And it was Greg Rouse, rest in peace. It was Curtis Ubina, and I think it was David Rodriguez from South Soul. They wrote, there were three guys that wrote letters for me. They wrote it to Billboard. Now, I didn't ask them to write the letter. Greg Rouse was the first one that said, Al should be a Billboard reporter. And said, we recommend Al to be a Billboard reporter. And then Curtis Ubina from Emergency Records said, yeah, we should have Al be a Billboard reporter. And then David Rodriguez from South Soul said, we should have Al to be a Billboard reporter.
Wow.
So they went to Billboard.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the record pools were like, he can't be a Billboard reporter. He's a record pool owner.
Right.
None of us are Billboard reporters. But they made me a Billboard reporter. And it was one of the highest privileges that I received at that time. And I took it very, very seriously. But after that, every magazine wanted, like, what's your top 15 now? And I was getting records from everybody. Everybody. I mean, I'll get records from countries I didn't even know existed. They were just sending me joints, you know?
Oh my gosh.
So the pool was getting joints from every, I would say, yes, I mean, 10 of this. Then I had to break up. I broke up my record pool into divisions because I started, as I hang out with the record companies, I started to learn one thing about them. They had a section for everything. So for the rock and roll, they had their section. For the R&B, they had their
Right.
section. So they had a section. I said, man, I should do this with the record pool. So I got a guy to be in charge of the rock and roll. Spiro was his name. I got a guy to be in charge of the hip hop. That was Buddha Sets. You call him Chicky Star. All right.
Buddha says in the
Yeah,
building.
yeah. And then I had a guy I had a female doing the Latin. That was Emma. And then later on, my sister replaced Emma. So Emma lives in Florida now. Uh,
Wow,
so,
that's crazy.
so
Listen, my grandmother's name is Emma.
look at that. Look at that.
She lived in Florida. That's crazy.
So I divided the pool so that way I can better serve the record companies when they sent me a record.
Yeah.
I would be able to go and make, and I had listing for everybody. So I had a Latin chart, I had a D, we call it DOR chart, and I had a hip hop chart. So I had all these charts. So my record pool flowed similar to a record company standard.
Right.
And it was just, I was able to do more for them. and break records a lot faster. Now I'm getting DJs that didn't want rap; they just wanted the rock records. They wanted the rock and roll stuff. They wanted, uh, uh, all the stuff that my normal guys wouldn't get. But then something funny happened. My
What's
guys
that?
in hip hop would say, "Yo, Al, can I get some of them joints that Duran Duran and all that stuff, man? I'm doing some gigs and they be asking me for that stuff." I said, "Yeah, I'll give you a copy of that. Yeah, B-52s. What do you want? The Duran? Yeah, I got here." And then the Latin stuff started to happen again. Like they said, "Yo, can I get some Latin joints out?" Because sometimes I got some Latin people. They say, "We want some Grand Combo, bro. We want some Celia Cruz." I said, "Okay, I got that too."
Right.
All of a sudden, the DJs were better equipped. Now, when they did a party, they were at a club. They had a better catalog of music.
Wow. That's something else. That's something else. You did it. I mean, see, but you were able to really study the way the record label was doing it and incorporating it with what you were doing, and it just took it to another level. Because I mean, now you're breaking artists like Tupac, you're breaking artists like Scarface, Eminem, Naughty by Nature, Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube,
Yep,
my favorite rap group of all time, Public Enemy.
yep, yep.
I mean, how is this making you feel as all this is going on? Like, because I know you're such a hip hop diehard fan of the culture, and now here you are, you're creating something in your. I mean, these guys are becoming successful because of what you're doing to help them as well. I mean, it's crazy.
So I started to have meetings once a month with the record pool. I said I need to teach these guys more about the business. So I will have these meetings at different clubs. So I did three different things. I required them to come to the meeting as part of the membership. I highlighted different DJs. So I go to your club and you be the DJ and you play for these record companies and all that stuff. And our record companies go there and have set up a panel and talk about what they do for the record company. So if they were a radio person, if they were just a retail person, if they were in the publishing side, if they were in the art department, if they were in the legal side, I set up all these panels. So the meetings
Uh,
were blowing up. So I did it in Kid Capri's club. I did it in the Tunnel. I did it in the Copacabana. I did it in all kinds of different clubs. So I started to get to know the club owners because now I'm taking it, and I did it on a Tuesday. I did it on a dead night, nothing happening. Tuesday
right.
night. Then I said to myself, damn, I'm doing this stuff. It's happening. Maybe I could amp it up. So I invited a record pool, another record pool. So I invited Steve Richardson from Connecticut Record Pool. I said, "Why don't you come and join me on this thing? Bring your members down." And then I invited who was this guy? Oh, Rich Hernandez. He had a pool out of Jersey. Forgot the name of his pool. So he came with his record pool. And then I invited Bill Ricketts out of Jersey. And so I started inviting all these record pools, and it started to grow. The meeting started to grow. Well, then I was in Manhattan. I forgot the name of this club. I know I set up a panel, and the place hold maybe about 1,000 people. There were probably about 300 DJs in this that night,
Wow.
and it was funny because we'll set up food. We have the company pay for food. We have the company pay for drink tickets for the DJs and all that stuff. But that day I was there, and companies would come to me, "Al, I got some records for you." I said, "You got records for me? I'm doing a meeting." He said, "No, no, bro, you got the biggest meeting of all. There are more DJs here than ever, bro. Here, give them all the DJs and everything." So that that meeting started a trend of just companies knowing if they went to that meeting and bought all their records, they didn't have to mail it. They didn't have to find a guy. They didn't have to do any of that stuff.
Uh,
300 DJs in one day.
wow. Something else.
Yeah. So I never had an attitude about I'm not, that's my competitor. another give them my contact. I never had that kind of attitude. My thing was the bigger picture is how do we break this record?
Right.
If we all
Well,
got
going back to you say, how do we grow?
so we did that, and that became explosive. Record companies were just hitting me like crazy. Yo, Al, like what you're doing right now is incredible, bro. So then then I did then I broke up with my partners for personal reasons. We had a beef. Everybody had the beef. Everybody had the beef. So I went into construction for a year. I left the business a whole year. God, mom is like, for record pulses, not doing that.
Wow.
And my DJs were hitting me up. Yo, Al, what's up, man? You got to start another record pool. I said, I don't want to do that, bro. Yeah, I was hurt, you know?
Yeah.
And about six of them, seven of them were calling me and they did like an intervention. Yo, Al, you got to start another record pool. I don't care, bro. You got to start another record. And I said, all right, let's try to do this. All right, bro. I hear you. Let's try to do this. So I went to all the companies I knew and went back to them to get, I got 15 guys. And the companies were telling me, no, 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 no. And I said, damn, man, you guys don't give me no records. No. And I was wondering what. Then one of the companies told me, yo, Al, the record pools all sent us letters that we shouldn't service you because it's going to be too flooded in the Bronx with another record pool in the Bronx. Because you have Mojo, you had SOS, you had Sure. My ex-partners kept the pool. They had all, and I was saying, so they wrote a letter for me not to get records.
Wow.
I said, that's effed up. I said, that's effed up. Okay. I tell you what. So Ray Pinky Velasquez from the Ipanema. I remember that guy. That guy told me, Al, you can use my club to do a party. I said, okay, so I'm gonna do a party announcing the opening of my record pool. And I'm gonna invite all the record companies. And it was 2 floors. So all the record companies stood on the first floor. And other record pools were coming now. All these record pools that said that they signed, don't give out nothing. So I sent them upstairs so they couldn't intermingle. They go upstairs. I rent company people on the first floor. Remember they had the floor with the cut, the like the Saturday Night Fever kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So then I had my DJs all play a segment, and they all playing this like they play a half hour each one of them. My DJs, only 15 of them. I think I had like an open bar. Everybody was blasted. All the companies were blasted. They were having a ball. And I think it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. We stopped the music for a minute. I go in the middle of the dance floor and I told my DJ, 15 DJ, come on to the floor, go to the floor and everything. And I said, okay, this is VIP record pool. So by standing ovation, let me know if you're gonna give us some records. And all the record companies just stood.
Wow. Nice.
VIP record pool.
And that's legendary right there. VIP is legendary.
So that's how we started that pool.
Wow, that's what a story. You know what? You need a you need a documentary out. I mean, serious. We gotta get a excuse me, we gotta get a deal on Netflix, something. I mean, your story is just amazing. It really is. And you being so pivotal in the culture of hip hop. I want to talk about Hip Hop Boulevard magazine. What is your vision with that being the editor in chief?
Oh my God. I gotta tell you how it happened.
Yeah, please.
I was 2 months ago, I wasn't this was not on my radar. This was not something I planned. Remember I told you that I organized all the urban pools across the country and created a tip sheet called the Urban Tip.
Right.
And The printer of that tip sheet was a guy named Michael Wicks. And Michael Wicks had a small print shop on Gun Hill Road. Real small business, like,
On Hill Road.
business.
I used to stay around there. Those
Look at
parts.
that.
Yeah.
So right across the street from the number 5 train is number 2 train, uh Gun Hill Road. No, it was the number 5 train. The number 5 train on Gun Hill Road. You got right off of there, right across the street down the block with his print shop. So he printed the tip sheet for me. So he was a beginning printer, and I will pay my money to pay for the print of the. So we're doing this tip sheet. We're doing a little newsletter too. We're doing a couple of things with him and everything, and we build a good relationship. And we did that for a very long period of time, 3, 4 years, whatever. Moved. I did everything that I had to do. I don't see him. Fast track now. That'll be 35 years later. I get the award from Shah Rock and Andy King. I'm with Grandmaster Caz and all these guys, Tony Tone, all of us are there. We're appreciative of this award. And I put it on Facebook, everybody puts it on Facebook. And Michael Wicks hits me up on Facebook. What's up? What's going on, bro? I'm proud of you. Da, da, da. And I'm like, Mike, what the hell? What's wrong with you? So we start talking, and he said, Al, my print shop is way bigger now. Way bigger. What if I ever could do something for you, you let me know. Hip Hop Boulevard magazine.
Divine intervention.
So
Wow.
so this magazine is not gonna be like any other magazine. It's designed to give you information. It's designed to give you history of hip hop that you may not know of, history of hip hop that doesn't that people don't talk about.
Right.
But there's so much omissions of hip hop. You couldn't have gone from point A to point B. What's something missing out of there? What happened from point A to point B? All the end stuff to get you there.
That's
So I
right.
cover all that stuff. So I talk about the Mean Gene, but I also talk about the Lumber Starskis, and I also talk about the PTJ Jones, and I talk about all these guys that other people may not talk about at the
Right.
moment, or they have no voice now, or they passed away,
Right.
or just they did it for 2 or 3 years. They were very instrumental in what they did, and then you know they're a bus driver. They're
Right.
doing something else, whatever it may be.
Right.
I touch on those subjects, those stories. I don't want to get into the gossip. I don't care about the he said.
Right. Right.
Not the magazine for you. Don't pick it up. It's gonna be
Right.
information. It's gonna be truthful, accurate information on all the elements.
See,
And I'm
that's what I love. I love the fact that you're telling stories because there's so many people that contributed, made contribution to the culture that you don't know about. You have no idea their stories. And no one's talking about it because everybody is on the bandwagon to sensationalize
right,
because they're chasing the dollar.
right. So look, Scarface had a guy um with that was pushing his stuff. And when I say pushing, this guy was like, I'm out there in the street making sure your stuff get out there. Name is Leslie Wyatt. Leslie Wyatt out of Texas. So me and Leslie got real tight. And most of the guys that I deal with, because I remember I was promoting the death row stuff, so I got to meet all these guys
Right.
in different cities and different parts of the world, because I was working for death row. So Leslie go and say, "Man, you got to help me with this Scarface stuff. I got you. I'm doing some stuff for Virgin, and Virgin had an offshoot label called New Tribe, and he said, yeah, the Scarface thing out, please, we're trying to break into the East Coast and all that. Got you, bro. So we get real tight. But who is Leslie White?
Mm.
Nobody knows who's behind that whole Rap A Lot Records.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So who's behind Master Flex when he got his first contract for Hot 97? That was Vito Bruno. And Vito Bruno used to manage the tunnel, home base, 1018. That was Vito Bruno.
Right. That's how Flex got in those situations.
So, so all these guys, you cannot continue to talk about hip hop like you just, bam, I just got there. No, you didn't just get there, bro. There were
Right.
parts to it that got you there.
That's right.
Alabatello, if he didn't have disco fever, where would everybody be at? If there was no disco fever, where would everybody be at?
Whoa. It's true.
This is just part of the facts that they omit. So when people go on stage and they say, we did this, nah, man, you got a lot of help to get there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you can't, and that's why when Flash, and I'm not dissing Flash, I know Flash, I'm just saying, Flash, when you go and say Fat Joe and you go say Lord Finesse, you go say French too, you need to mention Al Pizarro also.
You better mention now.
It's just that's just
You
the
gotta mention now.
truth. And this is why this magazine is coming out the way it's coming out. Because of the fact that they're not talking about it. They're not mentioning it. Who mentioned Cool Keith, Cowboy and Love Starsky? Me. Who got the citation proclamation? Me.
Mm-hmm.
When I talked to Samuel Hawkins from Hawk Entertainment, he told me, Al, we should do something for them. Introduced me to Janice, and Janice talked to me about it. I said, I'm gonna do something about it. Let me find out how I can do it. Talked to Kathy Walker from the Parks Department. Talk to I just call people. We got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do
Right.
this.
Right. Right.
But now, all of a sudden, it's on the radar, right? Now,
It's
all of
on
a
the
sudden,
radar, baby. It is on the radar.
yeah.
And this is a good transition into what I was going to ask next is the impact of Latinos in hip hop culture. And like you said, we know they talk Fat Joe. Um, there's a certain list that they say all the time. But I mean, there are some very honorable Latinos that really pushed this culture to her. I mean, really held it up high.
Look, there's a narrative, right? That no, Latinos weren't there from the beginning. There's a narrative. And I'm 67 years old, so I'm 17 years ahead of hip hop. They've been putting it by the numbers, right? So this is what I got to say. At that time, during that time, they had us all segregated. I don't care what anybody says. The blacks and Puerto Ricans were thrown together. Yeah, there was some neighborhoods that more black. There was some neighborhoods that more Puerto Ricans and Latin people and all that
Yeah,
stuff. Absolutely, but we were all thrown together.
yeah,
We did everything. So I had my collard greens, I had my grits, I had all that stuff. That was my black friends. I went to their house and they did that. Right?
right.
Then they came to my house and they had some ahoy, gadule, and all that kind of stuff when they came to my house. So we ate the same type of food we were eating. We played in the same basketball court. We played Skelsies. We played Ringalivia. We did all that kind of stuff. All right? And we partied together. So you cannot say that we weren't in it together. You cannot say it. It's just it doesn't make any kind of sense.
It
You know,
doesn't.
it doesn't, it's not demographically, historically, you cannot say that. It does not make any kind of sense at all.
No.
So what I say to them is that if you had a plate of rice and beans when you were 10 and 9 years old, then you got integrated with Latino people. So if you
Ah,
had that rice and beans when I was younger, Miss Rivera's kids, they used to hang out with me. And you're telling me that you did not invite them to your events? You didn't tell them, yo, I'm writing this lyrics and all that stuff. Check this out and all that.
Right.
Tell me that you didn't do that? Come on, back. We're inviting everybody. We're doing the hooky sets. We're doing the room with the red light, the purple light, the fluorescent posters. Come on, man.
The fluorescent joints.
Come on. And,
Yeah.
and that's my point. My point is, I understand that some people may think that we're taking something away from us. But who's the us?
Exactly.
Who's the us?
That's right. Keyword, the us.
Right.
I like that. Al, I'm telling you, man. I'm so proud of you,
That,
and I can tell just by your character, the things that you do. To start this off with that beautiful sharing that sermon with me is something that touches me because I'm a deep guy like that, and I like to be spiritual as much as I can. I'm
right.
not, I'm not the most perfect guy in the world. I
Right.
won't say that. But there's certain things that do touch me, and hip hop saved my life, and I'm sure it saved your life and many
Oh,
others.
man, did it, bro? Did it? It's
Um, I want to ask you, how did it raise you to be such a good father? Because you are an author of a book, Am I Good Father? Uh, can you answer your own question?
man. I'm always trying. Okay. I think that I didn't realize it until my wife was telling me you should write a book, and I was like, I never wrote a book before. She said you should write a book, honey. And I thought about it. I said I'm gonna write a book about fatherhood. She said why? I said because I didn't know that it was such a difficult road because it's
Hmm.
made for women. The system is made for women,
Yeah.
single and all that, not made for single dads. So if the system is made for single women and not for dads, so is society. So is the culture, the mindset is thinking that way. You can't raise your kid. You need a mother to raise your kid, not you. And that mindset, I said, damn, I've gone through so many turbulence in
Mm.
raising kids. Why? All I want to do is raise them
Listen, yeah.
to the best of my ability. So I'm going to learn. And I learned. I remember Gabby, which is my youngest. I was just with her yesterday, celebrating her birthday, and I'm ready to take her to school. The first day, she's 2 years old. The first day getting her, and not even to the daycare, The first
Mm.
day to a daycare and everything, and I'm like, okay, I got to take her to the daycare. And I look at her hair. Her hair's wow. I'm like, holy crap!
Yeah.
I don't my hair.
Mhm.
I never combed her hair before.
Right.
So I knock on the neighbor's door. The neighbors were pissed because I had custody of my kids. So all the women in the building were pissed at me. Like, you took it away from the mom. I'm like, look, just help me do her hair. Just show me. Bring her here. And I'm just watching. I did that for about 2 or 3 weeks. And then finally one day I said, okay, Gabby, I'm gonna do your hair. Daddy, we're not going next door. No, we're not. I'm gonna do your hair right here. And started learning how to do her hair and braid her hair and all that stuff until I got it down to a science and all that. But that whole process, that point just taught me like these, and I don't got nothing against women. I just got something against the fact that you believe that men can't do it. So
Right.
the process of me talking to a woman and she looking at me like I did such an injustice,
Hmm.
and already I'm guilty, made me feel less than. So
Right.
everything that I went through with my kids, my son was 9, my daughter was 2 years old. And here I am. I had to leave the business because how can I do this and do that?
Right. You got to make that choice.
So I had to make that choice. I was a pastor, really helped me out, pastor of Hermes Caravaggio, and he guided me and taught me about the book. I'm born and raised Catholic. I've been a 5%. Um, and then I just left left all religion alone. And then I met this pastor, and then became a born again Christian. And he opened the book and explained the book in a way that I understood it. Then he said something to me. He said, "Al," I said, "Bro, I really don't understand these passages and all that stuff. Like, what's it saying?" And he said, "Al, when I'm there talking, I'm gonna break it down so you understand it. You apply it to your life today.
Okay.
Because the
Right.
this book, it is when we call it the living word, we mean that it is applicable all throughout your life.
Mm,
So it lives with you consistently through your life. There's always going to be something in the Bible that you can use today, tomorrow, 10 years
that's
from
right. Yeah.
now. So I always thought about one story that he told me, and it was about the seed. And he was explaining to me, because I was saying, I read the Bible from beginning to end. When's my blessing? And he said, don't work that way. He said, but I read it from beginning to end. I should be getting blessed. God should be blessing me, right? He said,
Right.
work that way. I read the Bible again. I said, I read it twice now. Where's my blessing? He said, you don't get it. It doesn't work that way. I said, you told me read the Bible. I'm reading it. I read the whole thing. He said, no, don't work. So he told me, let me tell you this parable. I said, what? He said, look, a seed drops down into the ground, and the seed may fall on the concrete, and water comes and everything, the seed sprouts, but it has nowhere to land its roots. And so it dies, withers and dies. He said, another seed drops down and it lands on a crack where there's some soil underneath the crack, but it's still in between the concrete. So the seed pops and grows, but it gets smothered. The concrete don't allow it to grow, and it withers and dies. And then there's another seed that lands on fertile ground. Now this seed, roots get in, it sprouts up and starts growing and flourishing. I said, okay, that Pastor, what's up with the seeds? That is you. I said, how is it me? He said, when I when I when I'm in church and I'm preaching the sermon, you may hear it, but you didn't apply it or use it, anything like that. You heard it that day, and you leave the church and forgot. That is the seed that lands on the concrete.
Mm,
And sometimes that you may hear it and you may go out that day and you may think about it and you're like, wow, this is great and all that stuff. But the next day or 2 days later, 3 days, you're back to your old self and all that. That is seed between the cracks. Now, wow, the seed that when you go out and you start applying it, and it's months later and you're still applying it, and it's years later and you're still applying it, and it's decades later and you're still applying it, that's the seed that landed on fertile ground.
wow. The seed that landed on fertile ground.
So,
Woo! That's a good one right there.
so he taught me a lot on how to change my life from within, give myself to God. And then there was a question I asked him. I said, Pastor, I can't change. I'm like, I don't want to change. I don't want to. You don't have to change. You think God picked you because of who you are. That's why he picked you. He didn't pick you to change you from what you are. He picked you to use you for what you are.
That's right. That's so true. And he did a wonderful job when he used you. I'm telling you that now. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Pizarro, co-founder, CEO of Hip Hop Boulevard, author of Am I Good? Am I a Good Father? Billboard writer, board of director member, World Cup of Hip Hop Organization, editor in chief of Hip Hop Boulevard magazine, an amazing soul. And I tell you, man, it's been such a pleasure
Uh,
to sit and talk with you, my brother.
no, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to share. Um, because it's important that we share. We can't have the Daffy Duck syndrome. A lot of people have the Daffy Duck syndrome. If you ever see Daffy Duck cartoon, Daffy Duck, one of the series, he's like, me, no, 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 no. Like he just wants for himself. I call that the Daffy Duck syndrome. And a lot of people in the hip hop culture have the Daffy Duck
The
syndrome.
Duck syndrome.
We grew up in a culture like with Jack the Rapper and people like that, that they had a model. And the model was each one teach one. What happened to that?
Mm, that's a very good question.
Yeah,
But we got guys like you that are going to restore the feeling and bring back the true essence of what hip hop is all about, and living your life,
yeah, yeah.
living your life. And I appreciate you, my brother.
Well, I thank you for this interview, and I hope it blesses everybody. And remember, hip hop is only a tool that you can use in a positive form. It could be used negatively, but you're not gonna be able to get growth out of that. Use it in a positive form and watch what happens. Just watch. Thank you so much.
Is the seed that what you say it falls on fertile ground.
There you go, man. All right, man. God bless you guys and peace.
Let's shake the world, my brother. See you soon. We got to collaborate in the future.
There you go. God bless, man.
Discover the healing benefits of CBD. The human body is equipped with an endocannabinoid system designed with receptors which interact with the cannabis plant. A CB1 receptor regulates things such as hunger, temperature, or alertness. A CB2 receptor exists mostly in our immune tissues and is critical to helping control our immune function. Ask Tony Beaudry, a local Las Vegas CBD expert who has had an amazing healing journey. See his story soon on the Mental Margarita Show. Unleash your inner shine by choosing Brimstone Jewelry with gifts for women and for men. Come and experience the Brimstone difference. You can visit us online at brimstone-jewelry.com. If you're planning a wedding, book a bridal party and choose from our wide variety of the finest costume jewelry. Visit us downtown Henderson at 203 Water Street, Suite 203, or call us at 702-245-0444. Get 20% off your purchase when you mention the Mental Margarita Show.
That's how we do, man.
That's how we make it happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can't believe my eyes. What a wonderful surprise. We got Reborn the Rebizzle.
Yeah.
And I mean, I want to start this off by saying, what an interesting name.
Yes, sir.
How did you get that name?
Well, I'm gonna break it down. You know what I'm saying? It's originally Reborn the Truth Speaker. You know what I'm saying? But the Rebizzle came about when I was just playing around with my name. You know what I'm saying? You know, like back in the days when you had guys like Rizza, he'd be like, yo, Bobby Digitals, or Sons of Man, you know what I'm saying? Prodigal Son, he'd be like, yo, Son Zini. So I was like, I was up in the lab one day, I was like, yo, it's Reborn, the Rebizzle. You know what I'm saying? This was back like in 2002. So I just adapted to that name, but also known as the Truth Speaker because I dropped jewels in my lyrics and all of that.
Yeah, and you know what? I appreciate Jules. I some of my favorite MCs are known for dropping jewels. Like, I mean, from Rakim to
Nas, Cool G Rap,
KRS One.
You know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang, Sons of Man, Killer Army, Grave Diggers and them brothers. My man Timbo King. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Killer Priest.
Killer Priest. Oh man, come on, you taking me back now.
Yeah, that's where I stem from. You know what I'm saying?
And Bronx, New York, guys.
The BX.
The BX in the building.
BX.
I used to stay on Kinsella Street.
Yeah, I grew up around Gun Hill, White Plains, and all of that.
Gun Hill, yeah. I used to be in that area a lot too, as well.
Yeah, I went to Truman High School.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
we talking back like 92, 93 and all of that.
Yeah.
When you had brothers was rocking a lot of Army fatigues back then because of Onyx, you know what I'm saying?
Onyx.
Yeah, they was rocking Army fatigues, the ball.
Throw your guns up in the air, the Onyx.
Yeah.
Man, I used to love that. So, and I still do. And I think that this is great that you are a Christian
MC.
rapper.
Yeah, MC.
I like to say MC, Christian MC, right where the birth of hip hop, where it all began.
Put you down, Bronx.
This is what I'm talking about. And I'm so excited about this. And since 1999, you start ministering gospel through your music. Tell me about that whole process.
Well, actually, I came to faith in Christ in the summer of 1999. You know what I'm saying? So I never heard of no, you know what I'm saying, gospel rap Christian MCs back then. But that was until like a year later when I was working at this Christian sleepaway camp called Mount Lawn Camp that's in Pennsylvania around the Poconos. So the church I was going to back then was called the Bible Church of Christ. So they was not into rap or hip hop or anything that sounded contemporary or worldly, if you will. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they was going against, what they call Christian rap, even I had no idea what that was, you know what I'm saying? So because I was being discipled there and the pastors and everybody over there, most of them was like the elders already, was like in their 70s at the time. So of course they come from a different generation of music and things of that nature, you know what I mean? So they was like, we don't want that in the church and stuff like that. That's the devil's music.
Right.
I had no idea. So I was being discipled there as a young man around 21, 22. But that is until like a year later when I was working at this Christian sleepaway camp that I got exposed to other different styles of music like praise and worship, you know what I'm saying, alternative, God, you know what I'm saying, Christian songs. But then there was this one brother named Albert Daniels. He was trying to get me to listen to rap. So at first I was pretty reluctant to it because of what I was being told. So
Right.
therefore I made up my mind to say, you know what? Let me give this a chance. So the first Christian MC that I ever heard was the Ambassador from Cross Movement from Philadelphia. So when I heard that album, Christ Island, Your Lame Return, personally, I found nothing wrong with it. As a matter of fact, I began to support it. I fell in love with the gospel rap because it was infused with hip hop. And this brother was reminding me of like a Nas or so back then. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
he was dropping. And his lyrics was very biblical. You know what I'm saying? Very spiritual. You know what I mean? And he was able to convey, you know what I'm saying, the biblical with everyday life and things of that nature. So next thing you know, I got so inspired, I began to write. And I started writing and just writing and just writing. I was already well versed with scripture. I was already into the word, you know what I'm saying? So all that time I was studying and reading a lot and allowing the word to minister to me, you know what I'm saying, to change my mindset, the way I see life and things of that nature. So then, of course, I was just writing, doing a lot of writing, you know what I'm saying? But of course, I didn't really have a flow in a delivery. So I started listening to other MCs and learning how to flow and write to the beat and stuff like that. Then I began to write to like Wu-Tang beats, Nas beats, Bomb Deep beats, and spit over them joints and practice them joints. And after a while, I started getting better and better and better. The next thing you know, I started getting original beats from brothers at my church, from my Christ Family Community Church, like this brother named, what's his name? James Vincent III. You know what I'm saying? He was pastor's son. So he was just making some fire tracks. And I began to write to them joints and record original songs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The next thing you know, I hooked up with my man Justified and Zealous, my man Jazz. He did my whole album as far as mixing and mastering, the Principles of Life joint. So he brought the radio quality sound, the quality sound and everything up to par and all of that.
Yeah, you start so now all of a sudden you're on a professional level.
Indeed. Because that's the mindset, you know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna go all out, I'm gonna go all out from the gusto.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I started doing my homework, buying equipment and stuff like that around 2018 and 19, set up my own studio and stuff like that. And around 2019, as I got better with making beats and stuff like that and composing and stuff, the next thing you know, I was like, you know what? All them songs that I've written over the years, rhyming on other people's beats, I'm gonna put them into songs for this album. And along with those songs, I wrote new songs and stuff like that, most recent joints as well.
Smart.
So the ones that are recent on the album, that's my childhood experience. It's the Rebizzle. Can't You See? And also I'm yucked up here in New England. You know what I mean? So
I'm
those are the
telling
most
you, you got
recent
some
ones, huh?
joints.
Yeah.
You got some joints, man. You got some joints. And you prove a lot of points.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, that is so rare to find these days. I
Yeah,
mean,
indeed.
as you know. And let's talk about that. How do you feel about the state of hip hop and you doing the Christian MCing? How do you feel about that?
Well, I look at it like this. As hip hop as a whole, whether on the Christian side or the regular or the secular side, because to me, it shouldn't even be called Christian hip hop, Christian rap, because
Right.
let's keep it real. Back in the days when we was growing up with the Rakims and the Brand Nubians, now those are 5%ers, but and dropping jewels, but they never consider themselves as 5% rappers. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? They never call themselves that. What you represent is what you represent. It's how you representing. You know what I'm saying?
Like that. Like that.
Like my man Ambassador from Cross Movement said, he said, if you love him, then you got to represent him well. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to represent the Most High, you want to give him your all, everything. Come with your A game, everything. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not just your music, but everything that you do that pertains to life as well.
That's deep. You know what? I just felt something right there.
Mhm.
Because that's how we should be and be applying that in our
Yeah.
daily, our daily activity,
Mhm.
giving everything that we possibly can.
Yep.
Because we have a lot to be grateful for.
You
A
got to
lot to
have
be.
the passion. You got to be passionate too. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be extremely passionate. Now, I see the passion from you,
Yeah.
and I want to ask you this: what was it like? Because I'm sure you had to go through this when you had people that was trying to stop that passion and trying to sway you in the other direction.
I
How did
went,
you deal with those obstacles?
I went through the same battle, man, and I gotta say this one principle that Rocky said to his son of Balboa, Rocky Balboa. If you know what you're worth, then going out there and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits and not saying you ain't where you are because of this person, that person, or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. When he said that, yo, I took it straight to the heart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's legendary right there.
Yeah. So to me, he wasn't just talking to his son to act. He was talking to all of us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how I took it. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the passion, you got the heart for this, you got to be willing to fight through all of the critics, all the negatives and stuff like that. It may beat you down. It may even be painful and hurtful and stuff like that. But that's an enzyme that's going to keep you going, keep it going, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like you'll never let nobody stop you, and always think outside the box as well.
Always think outside
Yeah.
the box. Never let them box you in.
Indeed, indeed,
And integrity is a big deal for you. I can see.
indeed. Yes, it is.
And so being and now that you've made it clear, we don't need to divide. Being a hip hop artist, how you like that? Being a hip hop artist, what is your vision as far as your musical direction? What do you want to do to impact this world?
I mean, of course, I want to minister the word of God. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the only truth that we need. That's the answer. You know what I'm saying? God is the only one that has the answer to all of life's problems and things of that nature. So whatever situation that you're going through, you know what I'm saying? It's always in the word of God who has an answer for that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going through loneliness at times, which I went through, that's why I wrote My Brother's Keeper, because I went through an intense a lonely season at the time from like
Yeah.
2010s all the way like maybe 17 or 18. You know what I mean? And I almost felt like I was neglected. I felt like I was rejected. I felt like I wasn't a part of anything. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't realize that God was preparing me for this. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
had to go through the storm. I had to go through that. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. What an amazing testimony right there. And now transitioning because not only are you doing the MC thing,
Right.
you're also DJing.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
We
Producing.
got DJ
Yeah.
Rebizzle. So
Yeah.
how did you get started with the DJing thing?
What was it? 2018 when I first got exposed to like this company called Native Instruments. You know what I mean? So I looked at some of their product and I was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? They got the DJ equipment and stuff like that, the digital. They got the drum machines. They got the keyboard. So sorry about that. So when I got into the first equipment that I got from them was the Tractor Control S4. You know what I mean? So I started learning how to DJ, mix and stuff like that. You know what I mean? With hip hop, house, R&B. You know what I'm saying? Tribal house and things of that nature. Because I'm also into that too. You know what I mean? So I grew up on all of that. I used to go clubbing back in the days.
And you used to hit one of my favorite spots, the Palladium, huh?
Palladium, yeah, the Palladium.
And so some of your influences here: Junior Vasquez, Jonathan Peters, Frank Knuckles.
Yeah.
How instrumental were they to you?
Yo, when it comes to that house music, dancing and stuff like that, man, that was like a lot of high energy. High energy was pure. It wasn't like what we got today. You know what I'm saying? The EDM, it's okay, but when it comes to that pure house music, man, that's what I like. I like the sound of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The pureness in it. Because you got all different types of genre when it comes to like EDM and house and stuff like that. You got soulful house, you got gospel house, you got tribal house, you got Latin house, you know what I mean? You got Afrocentric house and stuff like that. So if you're into all of that, you know what I mean? Especially if you're into sounds and beats and things of that nature.
So you're basically, I mean, what I love about you is that you pretty much cover it all. You can go to an event or create your own event and MC and teach through your music, and then you can DJ and keep the party rocking.
Keep it going, yeah. My man, my man Q the Prophet, who's on track with me, Lyrical Apostles, he also DJs under the name of DJ Tepakusa. You know what I mean? And he's also a minister. He's an elder. My brother Q the Prophet, man, he's like all around, man. You know what I mean? When it comes to MC and touching that mic, I learned from that brother too.
Wow, that's cool.
He was one of the brothers that definitely inspired me and was like a mentor when it comes to writing and stuff like that.
Wow. And we all need that. We all need to have mentors.
Yeah, so I'll be like, yo, Q, listen to this. Then I'm spitting and he's like, yo, you getting better and better. You know what I'm saying?
And not only are you getting better at that, you're getting better at composing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Rebeats production.
Rebeats production. That's my own personal company that I created as a producer. So when I start selling beats online and stuff like that, there will be no sampling. And the reason why, because I don't want none of my buyers going through sample clearance issues and things of that nature, like I went through back in 2013. You know what I mean? I bought beats from Life and Death Productions back then, and they beats is fire. You know what I'm saying? But what I didn't realize at the time that some of their beats, as far as melody-wise, consists of sampling and stuff like that. So when I was ready to release my music back in 2022, I was having issues because of the sample.
There's a sample, yeah.
So what I did was I listened to the sample, and I realized it's a simple bass, synth, keyboard, and stuff like that. So I began to recompose it.
Right.
The drum patterns are still the same, but I recompose it, and that's where you get the showdown from.
Yeah.
That's why the album Showdown sounds a little different composed to, you know, what's out there as far as like on Bandcamp and also on SoundCloud. You know what I mean? Because of the sample and stuff like that.
Yeah, I really enjoy your music, and one thing that I also love is that I can tell that you are very worldly with your music. You like different genres have influenced your process.
Yep.
Was it like that growing up, listening to different things?
Oh yeah, definitely. You know what I mean? I was always into a mixture of a combination of a lot of things as far as like music and stuff like that. Even in back then I was into skateboarding, martial arts, gymnastics and stuff like that. So growing up, they used to call me BVD, the Black Van Damme, because I was gonna be Van Damme.
What?
I had the full splits, the martial arts, the gymnastics, the flipping and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We used to go to this karate school around the community center in the neighborhood.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. Back then, you know what I'm saying? When we all first saw Blood Sport back in the days, man, me and my cousins was like, yo, we want to be like either him or Bolo Young. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes was like, you know what I'm saying? Them dudes was like straight on top of their game, yo. You know what I mean?
You know, I got a sister of mine. Her name is Vanessa Herrera.
Okay.
And she's from the Bronx. And she started a musical for martial arts tournament that she was doing real heavy. So I definitely want to link you up with her because I think that you guys can do a lot of things together. She's really heavy in the music.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that'll be a really, really good synergy.
I remember we had this other martial arts teacher, Puerto Rican dude. His name was Angel. We used to call him a miracle. Not only was he doing martial arts, he was nice with it, but he was also a music producer. He used to bring his keyboard and his drum machine to the community center and make music.
Wow.
Yeah, he made music for my cousin Malik and them, you know what I'm saying? Way back like 90, 91, 92.
Wow.
I haven't seen that brother in years though, you know what I'm saying? He was like an older brother to us.
Well, I hope he's doing. I hope he's doing
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, he grew up in the South Bronx around like my old neighborhood where I was born at, because I was originally born around 144th and St. Anne's, right across the street from St. Mary's Park and stuff like that. You know what
St.
I mean?
Mary's
So
Park, yeah.
yeah, he was around, I think, 138th and Brook Avenue. So back then, we talking like the early 80s. It was crazy back then, yo.
Yeah.
Crack cocaine, drug infested and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's why when I look at you, and I think the audience as they're watching this
Yeah.
understand the transformation that you made.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many different lanes that you could have traveled on,
Yeah.
and you chose God.
And they, or should I say, God chose me out of
God
the
chose.
bunch. Yeah, out of the whole bunch. He pulled me out away from
That's
the club scene, the drug scene, the street life, away from everything. You know what I mean? It's almost like when God called Abraham from his father's house, from his family's house, and said, go to a land that I will show you, and I will bless you and make your name great. And I will bless all those who bless you, and I will curse all those who curse you. And in you shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So when God calls you, he calls you for a specific purpose.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's deep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's time to start answering the phone, guys.
Yeah.
It's time to start answering the phone.
Yeah, answer that call, man. If the Lord is tapping you in your heart, answer the call.
Answer the call. Now, how do they call you? How do they contact you, Reborn?
You could contact me on linktree.com/reborn183. And I also have my own personal website. You know what I'm saying? It's www.reborntherebizzle.com. You know what I mean? So when you go onto my website, you see my music store, you see all my apps and things of that nature, you see my bio and everything.
Now, is there anything super, super recent that's in the pipeline that you want to tell us about?
Oh yeah, I hooked up with the team now. You know what I'm saying? My brothers, King Jurassic Effect, and my brothers Email, we call the Sons of Thunder. And we got some projects coming through with some videos and things of that nature. So yo, be on the lookout for that Armored Up video that's coming soon in the single. We got some works coming in.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? When you look at us, man, you're gonna think of like MOP, you're gonna think of Onyx, you know what I'm saying? Because we
oh,
coming raw with that raw hip hopness.
that raw hip hop is gonna be thunderous.
Yeah.
I
We got a
can't wait.
joint. We got a joint. We got a joint called Armored Up, Flashlight, Heavily Protection, and I Declare War. So far, we got some joints coming to y'all, man.
Wow, I declare war.
Yeah.
And I declare that this guy here is going to be doing magnificent things for years to come.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? It's a true blessing to have you on, my brother.
Yes,
and we got to bring you out to Vegas real soon. We got to collaborate.
yeah, I definitely got to come out there, man. And even LA, they want me to come out there, yo. Definitely got to come out there.
You got to come out because, hey, look, Vegas is called Sin City. So brothers like you, definitely, we need brothers like you.
Amen. Amen.
Amen to that, man. Enough respect to you, man. Peace and love. And let's shake the world, my brother.
Let's do this, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we got some joints coming out, and I got a second album coming soon as well. You know what I mean? And I got some videos for the album. Like we definitely gonna do the lyrical pasta. We definitely gonna do Bringing It Back. We definitely gonna do My Brother's Keeper. You know what I'm saying? The songs on the Principles of Life album. And of course, I got some singles out there like Brainstorm Part 2. I got some videos that was played on the Killer Preach podcast. You know what I'm saying? Killer Preach and his whole team, they've been showing mad love to the music and stuff like that. As an artist, as an MC, and
wow,
you know, the concepts and things that I've been dropping and stuff like that.
that's a major look. But you got Killer Priest co-signing it.
Yeah, yeah. Because
That's a
he's a MC. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you look up to these dudes, man, and you want to strive to that level as an MC all around. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, MC is one that encompasses everything.
yeah.
Whether if it's subject matter, topics, wordplay, punchlines, flows, delivery, you know what I'm saying, bars and things of that nature. Because you got some rappers, they can spit hot bars, but there's no concept. What are you talking about?
Right.
You just rap it in vain and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? If you rap to entertain, that's cool. But if you really want to step it up that notch to that next level where you could be effective, you know what I'm saying?
You can be a master of ceremony.
Master of ceremony. You know what I mean? Brothers like I always look up to brothers like Rakim, Coogee Rap, you know what I'm saying? Big Pun, KRS One, Big Daddy King. You know what I
That's
mean?
the cream of the crop right there, man.
Yeah.
That's the cream of the crop. And I see your name being associated with that.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so me and my team, we got a show later on today in Philadelphia at the spot called Crate Diggers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be in Philly?
Gonna be in Philly today later on.
Oh man, that's gonna be fantastic.
You know what I mean? My man Ambassador Cross Movement, they from out there. You know what I mean? My man Jay Johnson, he from out there. You got some dope Philly MCs too, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got some
Philly's
dope.
got some heat.
Yeah,
Philly's definitely got some heat.
I mean, I love what Enes is doing, man. Enes is fire. You know what I'm saying?
Enes is killing it.
Enes is fire. You know what I'm saying? Who else? Cassidy. You know what I'm saying? Cassidy out there killing it. What's that other brother name again? He was signed with The Rock for a minute, yo. I'm trying to remember that brother name, yo.
Oh, you're not talking about Beanie.
Yeah, Beanie C. That's my brother right there. That brother, he's nice. Beanie C is nice, yo.
Beanie Singh is hot, man.
Yeah.
Beanie C, that's my boy.
Yeah.
I can feel it in the air, man. And you know what? No, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I like you know saying brothers that battle each other lyrically too. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at it like this: as iron sharp as iron, so is one MC sharp as another. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's that's how it started. You know,
Yeah.
That competitiveness. That's what hip hop. That's how it was based off of. So it's very important that we still keep that element in the culture.
Yeah. Substance, man, full of substance. Got to have substance there. You know what I mean? Because to me, you know what I mean, your songs could also be like a day-to-day sermon, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the word for today?
Right.
You know what I mean?
See, that's there. Yeah.
Like I used to vibe to a Tribe Called Quest back in the early 90s a lot.
Oh, come on. The low end
The low end theory, you know what I'm saying? Midnight Marauders.
Midnight Marauders.
Yeah.
I left my wallet in El Segundo.
Yeah. The first one too. Yo, you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Back in I think it was in '93. The day that Tribe Called Quest came out was the same day that Wu came out with their Into the 36 Chambers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they just celebrated their 30th year. You know what I mean? Which is a blessing, a beautiful thing, yo.
Huge blessing. And rest in peace to Five Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother. We got similar tastes.
Mm-hmm. I just turned 46 a few months ago, back in December. So I'm still here, man.
Hey, I'm glad that you're here. And I'm also glad that you're on the Mental Margarita show. Yep. Brother, we're gonna let them hear your track. And we're also going to be updating with you in the future because I want to see what else you got going on. Any future shows that you got going on besides today?
We got this thing called the East Coast tour, you know what I'm saying? Which is it's gonna be all in March. You know what I'm saying? First starting in, Brooklyn, then Connecticut, then I think in Rhode Island, then the last one's supposed to be in Massachusetts, I believe. No, not Massachusetts, New Hampshire. My bad. New Hampshire. You know what I mean? So we looking forward to that in March. Then we got some other joints coming up soon too. You know what I'm saying? I got a joint with my man Jazz, Justified and Zealous, you know what I'm saying, called what's that? The Wake Freestyle, you know what I'm saying, the remix with Jazz and myself. So we definitely win on that joint, yo.
You guys ain't playing.
Yeah, we win on that one. Matter of fact, I think I sent it to you, yo. You know what I'm saying? If you heard it yet.
No, I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marinate. I'm gonna marinate on it.
Excellent, excellent.
Hey, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, Reborn the Rebizzle is in the house.
I gotta give one more shout out too. You know what I'm saying? Black men with a vision. You know what I'm saying? I gotta give a shout out to all of them. You know what I'm saying? My man Earl. You know what I'm saying? My man, just a whole bunch of brothers that's in that crew. You know what I mean? We doing big things. We got a joint coming up in April. You know what I'm saying? Which is gonna be down in Manhattan around Hunter College and stuff like that.
Cool.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so I've been in contact with these brothers, and they're called Men with a Vision, also MC King Cypher, you know what I mean? So that's my brothers right there. There's a whole lot of them that's doing their thing and stuff like that. Shout out to all them brothers that's part of Men with a Vision.
I love that.
Yeah.
With a vision.
Yeah,
well,
because you still got some MCs out there, you know what I'm saying, that is like hungry, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they're trying to get out there.
Yeah. And
So,
this past time, the world, you know what I'm saying, recognize them as well.
It is. Let's get them on the Mental Margarita show.
Indeed.
We're front line, and we are right in the front of everything that happens in the entertainment capital of the world. So it's time for you guys to be known out here.
Yep.
There's a lot of opportunity.
Indeed. Shout out to my man Earl Francis, y'all. That's my brother right there. You know what I mean?
Big shouts out to Earl Francis in the building. Mm-hmm. Any more shout outs?
Yeah, my man Ashanti. Peace to my man Ashanti, you know what I mean? Peace to brother T. You know what I mean? There's a whole lot of brothers out there, you know what I mean? That's doing it, man. That's holding it down, stuff like that.
That's what's up. Shout out to everybody that's doing it, all the men with vision. And once again, shout out to you, Reborn the Rebizzle. It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate
it. Indeed, my brother. You know what I mean? Shout out to Cross Movement. Shout out to Corey Red and Precise. Shout out to Raiders of the Lost. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Gun Hill PJ. Shout out to East Chester. You know what I mean? Shout out to Eden Wall. Shout out to the Boogie Down Bronx. Shout out to all my coworkers at Costco. You know what I mean? You know I gotta show love to y'all too. You know what I mean?
Let's go.
Hurry up, man. All my coworkers at Costco, the managers, you know what I mean? The supervisors, all of them over there. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Costco.
Yo, we still yucked up here in New England. You already know, yo. Word. I had to give a shout out to all my people, yo. And just, you know what I mean? Just shout out to the whole world as well, man. You know what I mean?
Shout out to the whole world. Let's continue shaking it.
Indeed. God bless y'all all, man.
This life is but a dream. The things of this world is not what it seems. The real world are just fairy realms. Captured every moment's like a film. That's why I be dropping these gems. I got fire in my hands like why you again. You ask why you repent, cause it's the time of the end. This ain't a game, yo, it's serious hell. If your vision's blurry, then I would give you brown. It ain't hard to tell. A camel forks and knives in the streets. Too much beef, so much tension. Air, you can feel the brawling heat. It ain't sweet. The game got stolen by industry thieves, trying to smash souls and it makes it like Keanu Reeves. Devils got tricks up his sleeves. Open up your eyes to see by faith and you believe. And that's my word, B. This can't take the fact that they ain't able, they're unstable to comprehend the truth because they love fables. They rather do their own thing, which is the wrong thing. To try presenting up the garbage, gonna bless their offerings. They gotta be kidding with their worthless giving. You can't come to God any of your way, especially when it's your living. But if you want your life seasoned like seafood, to learn to obey, dude. I'm talking about the God who made you. So I build with my fellows in the wildest ghettos. See how rap turns a white or black like Othello.
Starstruck, here's a sprinkle of the stardust. Hold your champagne glass and your cigars up. See the guys with mob ties drive the cars up. Bright lights, most nights they buy the bars up. Candy coated Chevy cars on the highway. It's Frankie baby, it's on and this is my way. Gene Martin at the Sands this Friday. With Sammy Davis, here's a little hint where I stay. The city shines like Liberace's mansion, and you know Elvis had the whole city dancing. Showgirl silhouette steady prancing. Shout out to June, just the Copa Girls anthem. Legal gambling, yeah, that would tempt me. It's Sin City, holy water couldn't cleanse me. And Wayne Newton had the crowd in a frenzy. Live at the Stardust, the seats never empty. Now if you having a good time in Las Vegas, at the count of 3, I wanna hear you scream, Viva Las Vegas. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Viva Las Vegas!